Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Pulse Check. November is Long Term Care Awareness Month, and today we're diving into a really important topic, one that many people don't like to think about, but really should. And that's what happens if you or your spouse need ongoing care someday. I'm here with our advisors, Andy and Stephanie, to talk about what long term care really is, who needs it, and why it matters for your financial plan. We know the odds are higher than most people think. About 7 out of 10 Americans will need some form of long term care in their lifetime. A lot of us tend to put this off because we never think it's going to happen to us, but the data shows it most likely will.
Yeah, think about it. We all pay for insurance, sometimes because we have to, like automobile insurance, and sometimes because we think it's worth it to be protected if something happens. The average cost of auto insurance is $2,101 per year, with 4.2 claims per 100 vehicles per year. The annual odds of a house fire are 1 in 800. That's only 0.125%. Yet we don't question paying for homeowners insurance. The average cost of homeowners insurance is $2,927 per year. About 6% of homeowners file a claim annually, usually for weather-related damage. Now compare that to the 70% chance of needing long-term care at some point. It's a much greater risk, and yet it's often the one we're least prepared for.
Yeah, so let's start with the basics. What even is long term care exactly?
So, long term care is really about getting help with the everyday tasks most of us take for granted. There are 6 activities of daily living: bathing, dressing, eating, toileting, continence, and transferring, which means moving around safely. When someone can't perform 2 or more of these on their own due to illness, injury, or aging, they qualify for long term care. It also includes cognitive conditions like Alzheimer's or dementia, which automatically qualify for coverage. Another way to think about long term care is as disability insurance for retirement. During our working years, many of us have disability insurance through our employer. But once we retire, that protection goes away, even though the need for it often increases. And it's not just about nursing homes. Long term care can mean at home care or assisted living, all depending on your needs and preferences.
Okay, so who actually needs long term care? Is this something everyone should be thinking about, or is it just certain individuals?
Yeah, that's a great question, Scarlett. And, we recommend for all of our clients to at least have a strategy in place around this event that could occur. Statistically, most of us will need some level of care at some point, even if it's just a few months of rehab or part-time help at home, also compared to full-blown nursing home care for several years. While baby boomers are the generation most directly facing this right now, anyone approaching retirement should be thinking about it. We're living longer, healthier lives, which is wonderful, but also means more years of where might need a little bit of extra support. Ultimately, it's not just about the care itself; it's about protecting your independence, your savings, not burdening your loved ones with having to make tough decisions down the road. And that's why it's really key to have a plan in place, a strategy, whether that means setting part of your portfolio to self-insure or purchasing a long-term care policy, but just having a plan in place so that it's not, oh, what do we do now that we're facing with this event?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's where often a lot of people become surprised, right? Because I think there's, really a lot of folks out there that assume Medicare covers long-term care, but it really doesn't, right?
Right, you're right. It does not cover it. Medicare only covers short-term rehabilitation care, not ongoing long-term care. And if you're counting on Medicaid, you typically have to spend down your assets first to qualify. So that's Medicaid. You have to be pretty much insolvent. Costs vary depending on the level of care and where you live. For example, the average cost of assisted living is around 64,700 in the Cedar Rapids area versus close to 85,000 in the Chicagoland area, and both keep climbing each year. And really, without coverage, those expenses can drain your savings quickly, put a real strain on your spouse, your children, and your overall retirement income plan.
And we've seen both sides, families who had a plan in place and were able to afford quality in-home care, and others who didn't and ended up spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and relying on family members for help. It's emotionally and financially stressful, and it's important to think about how your plan impacts your loved ones. Often, our grown children or our spouses become part of that plan, but they may not always be as willing or able to provide the level of care we need at that time.
Yeah. Okay, so what can people do about it?
Long-term care insurance is one of the best ways to protect yourself and your family. Policies today are much more flexible than they used to be. They can cover in-home care, assisted living, or nursing care, and many allow you to customize your benefits, lock in premiums, or add inflation protection so your coverage grows as costs rise. Underwriting is obviously always a factor. If you're healthy, you have a full range of options. If you have existing health concerns, we can look at alternatives such as a self-funded plan built into your financial strategy or an annuity that requires little to no underwriting. There are generally three ways to plan for long-term care. Self-funded, where you set aside part of your portfolio to cover potential costs. Traditional long-term care insurance, use it or lose it, but it provides strong protection. Or hybrid options, policies that combine life insurance or annuities with long-term care benefits.
Yeah, that's great. And there are even joint options nowadays. So policies, insurance policies or annuities designed for couples that we don't need to guess which spouse might or might not need it. You're covered either way.
Wow, that's such great advice. And really, it sounds like the biggest takeaway is don't wait until it's too late. Have these conversations before it becomes an urgent need. You want to make these decisions when you're clear headed and not at all in the middle of an emotional health crisis for yourself or, like you were saying, your loved ones getting involved. November is Long Term Care Awareness Month, which makes it the perfect time to review your plan. If you'd like to talk through your options, reach out to your advisor here at Pulse Financial Services. We can help you compare policy types, run quotes, and find what best fits your goals and budget. Protect your independence, your assets, and your peace of mind, and schedule that conversation today.